Hello everybody. Today I've got something a little different. One of these light strands has conventional incandescent C7 bulbs in it, and the other one are these Tru-Tone LED C7 bulbs. Here's the box right here that they come in. Superior LED decorative bulbs that look just like vintage incandescent. Well, we'll see about that. I've been around vintage incandescent since they were not vintage. Let's open up the box and take a look. Have to set the camera down just a second. Here's what the bulbs look like. At a casual glance, they look and feel just like a regular C7. They are glass and they're painted on the exterior just like one from the 80s, a regular incandescent C7. And they say, instead of, if it'll focus, I don't know if it will, that says Tru-Tone right there. Tru-Tone LED. And they are made in China, because there's not really too much in the way of manufacturing over in the United States anymore. Now here, I'll pull this one out of the package. These are vintage incandescent C7s from the 80s. And here's what that looks like. This one, hard to make it out. That one was made in Taiwan. So there's a side-by-side comparison. Set it down on the workbench. They got the look pretty darn close. They're roughly the same dimensions and the same shape. I'm glad they're more the cone shaped rather than the torpedo shaped like the newer ones are that are incandescent. So that's a good thing. I don't know if I've got one. Yeah, right here. I never have liked that shape of a C7 bulb. That's fine for a C9 because that's how they always were, but a C7 needs to look like a C7, which is the cone shaped, like these GE ones. I like that shape so much better. Well, enough rambling. Let's get the demonstration going. I'll get it on the tripod, the camera, and I'll fire them up and see how they are. Alright, I'm going to try and zoom them in a little closer. I've turned the overhead light off, and I'm going to turn them on. And of course the camera washes it out. So maybe I can zoom it in, take it off the tripod. Okay, I've got a close-up on them now. You can see these bulbs here and what they look like. That's a nice deep red in person, but the camera washes it out quite a bit. And now we'll go check this other strand out on the right. I bet y'all can already tell what these are by that banding in the screen. But if you can get enough of the color, they do look pretty good. Now for another test, I'm going to put it back on the tripod and dim it. I've got it on my variable power supply so I can dim them down. They're supposed to be dimmable. That's at 90 volts right there. And you can begin to see the colors are actually pretty close between the two sets of bulbs. And then we're down to 80 volts now. And then the LEDs drop out at about 78 volts. But the incandescents are still going. They're fully dimmable. I'm down to 30 volts now. And just under 20 volts, and they've still got a little light visible, but not much. What I can do next is do a temperature check. Those are 67 degrees. The ones on the left are 86 degrees, so you can tell which ones are the LEDs and which ones are the incandescents. Now, incandescents will always be a part of my Christmas light display, but I am going to test some of these out this year and see how durable they are. There will probably be some areas where I will use those, but not up on the porch and in front of the house, that's for darn sure. Kind of some areas that are off to the side, not the center point of my display. So they will have their place. And they do look so much better than what we've had so far. And I saw these last year and they were out of stock, and I just had to get some this year just to see how they did. And if I look out of the corner of my eye and go back and forth, I can see a little bit of flicker, but they're not near as bad as some of the cool white, cold looking ones of the past. So I would say they're getting much closer on these LED bulbs to making them look acceptable and comparable to a incandescent. They still have a ways to go. However, I wouldn't hesitate to use these in my display. These here, they're always going to be king, but I've got some areas I could use those. So that's just a quick look and comparison of these Tru-Tone LEDs versus a conventional incandescent. Thank you for watching.